Welcome to Inside the Red Jacket, the podcast all about FCCLA members working to make a positive difference in their own communities. Today's focus is the 2026 State Leadership Conference, engagement opportunities for members, and important details to help you have a smooth registration process. Stay tuned. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to the podcast today. Our topic for this episode is all about the 2026 State Leadership Conference. If you'd like to find all the details on your own device, you'll begin with mtfccla.org. You'll want to hover over conferences and then click on State Leadership Conference. When you get to that screen, you will see all sorts of information, including the dates and the location. And you might notice quickly there are two documents that you can download. We'll talk more about that first one, the FCS Career Connections, in a moment, but I'd like for you to take a peek first at the 2026 State Leadership Conference registration packet. You'll see there on page 1, our conference theme, and page 2 has a welcome from our State Executive Council. Page 3 has all of the information regarding our culinary arts competitions. So whether you are FCCLA or ProStart or both, you can check out the valuable information here, as well as the other activities that are taking place related to culinary arts on Thursday. That's an important thing to remember. If you are competing with students in anything culinary arts, those items are happening on Thursday. You'll also notice that there's more information about other opportunities for our culinary arts students on that page. Page 4 will show you some information about our featured speakers. You can see those fine folks and meet them a little bit. You'll get to meet our keynote speaker on page 5 and learn more about which workshops and topics he'll be speaking about. Page 6 and 7 both outline the different participation options for our members. One of the Montana FCCLA policies is that every member is required to participate in some way. So you'll see some of the options that are available. And it's a great idea to share these pages with your students to help you determine which opportunities are the best fit for them. We did put together a summary of the participation options. Several of these have a limit on how many each chapter can submit, and several of them also have additional fees. These are above and beyond the typical registration fees for the State Leadership Conference. So if you're not exactly sure where to start, this is a great page to help you identify the options available for your students. We have our tentative agenda starting on page 9, and you might have to zoom in on that one. The font's a little bit small, but we tried to coordinate different events that were happening at different times so that you could have an easy reference. For instance, you probably do not want to sign up someone for the State Outreach Project training that is also a chapter or district officer, because those two events you can see from this graphic are happening at the same time. So that's the purpose behind pages 9 and 10, to give you an idea of what's available this year. There are some other informational pages. Page 11 tells you a little bit about some of the different features and opportunities at our State Leadership Conference. And there's a lot of important registration details located on page 12, along with a few hyperlinks. Please pay close attention to the registration fees, how you can change or cancel before February 4th. And then our final registration closes on February 4th. So it's important to note that there are no changes made and no new registrations accepted after February 4th. You'll see some reminders about the dress code and competitive events. Speaking of competitive events, we always need evaluators. If you know someone who will be in the Bozeman area on Friday, March 20th, please don't hesitate to share my email with them. You'll see a bit about event material storage. Page 14 has your hotel information. So you can choose whichever hotel is the best fit for your group. Go ahead and contact them directly to make your reservations. Also at state conference, we recognize, winners of our chapter and program awards. So make sure you take a moment to review that. We also recognize chapters for their participation in our state outreach project, as well as in Vision Zero. Other participation opportunities and recognition are happening on page 16, and you can take a look at that. Page 17 summarizes some of the activities and kind of breaks them down on when those need to happen in order to keep your stress levels at an all-time low. So right now, December and January, you'll want to be making sure that you get some approvals at your local school district, reserving your lodging. Think about some of the chaperones. Remember, according to conference policies, we need one chaperone for every 8 students that are attending. And the last item on that first bar is to register for the conference. That will be open January 4th through 19th for regular conference registration at a rate of $75 per person plus activity fees. And final registration is open January 20th through February 4th. Refer back to this last page often to keep you on track for checking off all the things that need to be completed. And there are some great resources there listed at the bottom of page 17. You can find the map and parking information on page 18, and a little shout out to our sponsors at the end of the document. So take a little look at all of the State Leadership Conference information and all of the items that you need are included in that packet. If this is your first year as an advisor attending the State Leadership Conference, please also check out the State Conference website so that you don't miss out on the first time attendee scholarship opportunity. I told you that we would come back to the Career Connections document. And while we're on the topic of participation options, I'd like to ask you to take a look at that. What we are offering in 2026 is an all-new participation option for some of our members who are exploring careers and would like to develop some career skills in one of 3 areas related to family and consumer sciences. The tracks available include career readiness, culinary arts, and early childhood. The attendees that this is focused on supporting include students in grades 7 through 12, again, who are interested in expanding some of their FCS career-related skills. So these students, of course, will be registered with their chapter, but this is one participation option that your students might consider. With career readiness, you can see for each of our tracks, actually, we have a session format outlined, a lunch break in there, some industry expert panel discussions, and the afternoon includes some challenges related to the topics that they are learning about. At the end of these sessions, we have attendees reflecting and completing surveys about the experience. So something to think about for this participation option is that these are happening on Friday from 11. Now the schedule says 3 o'clock, but we're keeping 4 o'clock as the final ending time for these sessions. So between 11 and 4 on Friday, any student that you register for these sessions will be expected to be participating in these sessions. So don't sign them up for other things too. You'll see more information about the challenges following the overview. This career readiness track includes Ultimate Interview Challenge and Spontaneous Speaking Challenge, which both give our students an excellent opportunity to practice some of those skills that we know they're going to use in the workplace. If you keep reading, you'll see a bit about culinary arts connections. It's important to note that for the culinary arts connections. They must be in grades 9 through 12. Again, you'll see an overview along with the plating challenge guidelines and the blade and board challenge. Finally, we have early childhood connections. Again, an overview of the schedule. These students will be participating in the Ultimate Toy Design Challenge, as well as the Situational Solutions Challenge. So be sure you take a few moments to check out the new FCS Career Connection opportunities available at the State Leadership Conference. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.